everybody. Hello everybody. Today we are going to start other part of Unit 1, Programming Language Implementation. In this we are going to see compilation, virtual machine programming environment. The programming language implementation, or what you call implementation in the right part, how the program is executed in your computer. It is divided into two parts. Programming language implementation is interpreter or compilation. In order to know that one, we need to know some other parts of it. Some other part of it. We will see the figure right now and we'll see how things are working out. Like this one, programming language. It is divided into three parts: machine language, low level language, middle level language, and high level language. Low level language is nothing but your machine language, assembly language. Middle level language is nothing but your C language. High level language is nothing but COBOL, Fortran, and other things. If you see a programming language, it is divided into three parts: low level language, middle level language, and high level language. Low level language, which is nothing but machine language. Machine language is nothing but your zeros and one. Zeros and one. Only computer can able to understand it. Computer can able to understand. It is nothing but a machine dependent, which is nothing but a machine dependent. Only computer can able to understand. Whatever the language you type, C language or whatever that you type, C language or C sharp, it is computer cannot able to understand it. We need to compile that process. We are going to see that part also later on. The compilation process is nothing but converting your program into zeros and one. The other part, like low level language, I've already told you, low level language, programming language provide a little abstraction, machine dependent, and is very fast to use it. The low language is not easy to understand, Machine language, I've already told you, it's zeros and one. The program written in various programming language like C or C Sharp, Java, Python, etc. Computer is not able to understand that programming language, and we need to compile that program. Compilation is nothing but converting a program into zeros and ones. Once the compilation of the program is done, the computer can able to understand that one. If there is an error, the compilation will tell you that there is some error in that one. You need to rectify that one. This is a part of machine language. The major thing is that machine language is nothing but zeros and ones. And how it is converted? It is converted with the help of a compiler, or only computer can able to understand, and it is very fast. It is machine dependent. Let's go to the previous slide, please. Previous slide. Yeah. Next one. Okay, I'll just go. Yeah. Assembly language. What do you mean by assembly language? Assembly language is nothing but a program which is written for 8085, 8086 or something like that, where assembler is used to convert that assembly language to zeros and ones. The assembly language is something like that, where it is written for some other languages like move AH01, move BL01, 02, add, something like that, which is very difficult for you to understand. And this is what here is source code. Assembly language is here. In order to convert this is your assembly language, and we need assembler to convert into zeros and one. We convert into zeros and ones. There is an example which is given here. Move A commas AH, move CL to B, or move D. This is something assembly. And more important thing is that it is machine dependent. Very difficult to understand. Basic command, the execution time of assembly language is very low, and machine dependent. Knowledge of hardware is required. Machine dependent and knowledge of hardware required. So where is assembler is used? To convert the assembly language into machine language. Where is assembly language, compiler is used to convert your high level language to machine language. There are two parts. Now next move on to other one. High level language. High level language is middle level language is nothing but your C language, which ranks intermediate between your high level language and low level language, which doesn't require any hardware requirement. It can run on any operating system. It is very portable, and you can able to design application program, other part and everything. If you see the figure, this is nothing but your machine high level, middle level language, which is also C part. And if you see hardware requirement, low level language, middle level language, and highly required. So the middle level language is also known as intermediate programming language, and it is the middle level language lies between the low level language and high level languages. And it is by using C language, the user can able to do different operation on operating system, as well as it can able to develop application program. Now other part, high level language. High level language we use the high level language is programming language such as Basic, C, CBOL, COBOL, or Java. These languages are have a strong abstract and which doesn't require, never need hardware requirements or something like that, and it is very easy for the developer to understand it. Like a high level language which you have written A plus B by 2, which is a source code, and it is need a translator to translate it, and the machine language is zeros and ones. And machine language is zeros and one. This we can see in the next slide. Yes, look, and then this is your program, include std.h main or something like that. High level language is nothing but which is understood by humans. Interpreter can translate your high level language to low level language. Low level language is nothing but which is understood by machine language. So here is a low level language, your high level language use. The source program in scripting language Perl run by interpreter. What do you mean by interpreter? Can run by interpreter. This language convert the high level language into binary code so that the machine can understand. So interpreter is something like that. Sorry. Afzal Saab, can you just pause it? Yes. Now we see something about high level interpreter. Translate high level language to low level language. Your programming is there. Low level language, which is nothing but 0, 1. High level language is your statement, and the translator is used. The translator is used to convert that into zeros and ones. So what do you mean? Interpreter is used to convert that one into zeros and ones in high level language. In high level language, we use interpreter also. Convert to machine language. High level language is your C program. This is nothing but 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. It is used to convert or help to convert. This is the part we have seen it, and this is used in Perl and PHP. Perl or PHP. This is also one programming language. One programming language. Correct? This is one programming language. Now compiler. Compilers, as I've already told you, high level language, which is your C language or something like that. Let's see it. Your C language, where suppose let's take an example. You write a program called a small program. Enter the value. Scanf. That's it. Printf the value is you enter. Or let's take example. Or again we have entered it. Printf the value you have entered. Printf the value you have entered %d I. What will happen? This will take, if you write this program and if you compile it, it is converted into zeros and one, and it will give you the output. Now, if I write ch here, if I write ch here, I'll get an error. So when you compile it, it will show you are defining a character, but you are entering %I, or you are assigning %d. So I will write ch character. So the compiler will tell you what are the errors you are there, how to rectify it, and once it is done, it converts the program into zeros and one. Then difference between compiler and interpreter. Compiler will compile the whole program, whatever there. Compiler will translate the program one step by step. Compile. Alt 7 or Control F7 means it will translate one by one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will compile one by one. Where a translator only after once it is executed, it is used. You must compile. Previous slide, please. Must compile, run immediately. You have to compile it, and faster execution, allow more support environment. In order to have interpreter, you need to have a more supporter. Only object code in memory. Interpreter is in memory. These are the differences for compiler and interpreter. Let's move on to this part. High level language, which you see it's friendly. Anybody can able to understand that. C or C++, assembly language or low level language, it's very difficult to understand. It's very complex. It is not portable, whereas here it is portable. High level language is portable, and it is very simple to debug. Debugging means to finding an error. If there is an error, I can able to find it. Whereas in low level language, it's very difficult for us to find an error. It is not portable. Low level language is not portable, whereas high level language is very portable. It runs on any platform. It is on machine dependent. As I told you before, it is widely used by programmer. It is not commonly used by the programmer. These are the differences for it. Now, if you see this figure, you have a C programmer, which is compiler. Then we have an assembler. We have got a linker. What do you mean by linker? It's nothing but you are taking all the header files and everything in order to link all together. Like you have used some file. This, whatever the files you have used, it should be linked with this one. So linker is used here with all the objective file, library files, and everywhere. So for this one, and then once the program is executed, process address this loader is there, load the program into memory, and then the program is executed. The linker is nothing but, as you see, the linker is used for large programmer in which we create some module of different tasks. We can call the module the whole job to link that module in a programming environment. So there is a C program, C compiler, then there is an assembler, then the linker, then once it is that, it is loaded into the memory, then it is executed. This is one part. Let's move on to virtual machine. Here, this is an intermediate concept. This is an intermediate concept. This is an intermediate concept between the compiler and the interpreter, popularized, which is used in Java programming, which you are going to learn in your next semester or coming semester. So what actually we are doing is that in programming language, we are seeing different languages. We have seen C, C++, then we are going to see Java, how it is run, another part. So Java program, the idea of writing a program in high level language, but instead of compiling or translating into machine language, it translates into intermediate code. This intermediate code exactly is executed by interpreter known as virtual machine. If you see the source code here, we have got assembly code and high level code, whereas object code, we have got executable file, a library file, and bytecode. This is one which is used in Java. So let's see what do you mean by virtual machine. Virtual machine is something like that which acts as an operating system, which is placed on top of your operating system, and we take all the properties of your operating system. It behave like a new computer or new operating system which is operating on one more operating system. Virtual machine is an environment that functions as a virtual computer which has its own CPU, which has its own memory, which has got own network interface, and which also have a storage coverage on a physical hardware system. So it's just like a CPU on one more CPU. So you are placing a CPU on a CPU, it has got own environment, it has got all the requirement what the CPU has. When a compilation is done on a virtual machine, its result is called bytecode, which is used by Java. Bytecode is typically a very low level representation of a program logic designed by an interpreter. It looks like more like assembly or machine code. In other words, virtual machine is an interpreter for bytecode. By using bytecode, Java become platform independent. By using bytecode, Java become platform independent. I need one more pen. This is not working. Let's go to other one. Like here, source code, compiler, bytecode, JVM, machine. We are seeing. So whereas here in your C language, other languages, source program is there, compiler, then you get an output. Here we have got two things. Why? Can you just go to previous slide?
So previous slide.
Then you go to the previous slide, please. Yes. Source code, compiler, bytecode, Java. So if you see before, it was something like that. A source code was there, a compiler was there, and the output was there. Here we are using, but when a Java program is executed, the compiler compiles the piece of code, and bytecode is generated for each method in that program in the form of a class file. We can run this bytecode on any other platform as well as. It is nothing but a platform independent, but the bytecode is non-runnable code that required or relies on interpreter. This is where JVM plays an important role. So JVM is also very important role, but we are only seeing what do you mean by bytecode. Bytecode is nothing but which act intermediate between compiler and JVM, which is used for platform independent. So basically Java use this virtual machine in order to do this one. Bytecode and machine code, if you see it, the main difference between machine code and the bytecode is that machine code is set of instruction in machine language or binary which can be directly executed by CU, whereas bytecode is non-runnable code generated by compiler as a source code that relies on interpreter. Whereas if you see machine language zeros and ones, it is run by CPU, whereas bytecode is nothing but a non-runnable code which required what you call interpreter in order to execute that one. So that interpreter we can have on other systems, another system. So we can take that interpreter on other system. We can able to execute that part there also. That it becomes a platform independent. Whereas here in machine language it is not platform independent. It converts the program into zeros and ones and it is dependent on the function. Whereas in Java that code is converted into bytecode and we need an interpreter in order to execute that bytecode. And if you have an interpreter on any other system, then you can able to execute that part. Programming programming environment. What do you mean by programming environment? In order to have your system to have an internet, what do you require to have an internet connection? You need to have an internet cable or a Wi-Fi connection, and then your CPU, which is with high configuration. So if you want to use for high configuration or something like that, so that is the environment you require, system and internet connection. If you have a system, if you don't have an internet, then it is no use. If you have an internet but you don't have a browser, there is no use. So in order to have an internet connection, you need to have a internet as well as browser connection on it. So the same way here also, that is a requirement, environment required. Moreover, if you have a computer, if you don't have an internet, there is no use. Moreover, if you have a computer, if you have an internet connection but you don't have a browser, there is no use. Other words, if you have a computer very high configuration, you have an internet connection plus you have a browser, but you don't have a what you call power supply, then there's no use. So these are all comes into consideration to have a programming environment, or sorry, to have an internet connection environment. The same way also, if you have a programming environment, if you need a programming environment, what you need it? You need a text editor to type all those things in a computer, and then we need to compiler to compile that program into binary format, and interpreter to execute that program. Compilation is nothing but you compile the program into zeros and one. Interpreter is used to execute the program. Remember one thing, compilation is nothing but you compile the program into zeros and one, whereas interpreter is used to directly execute the program. Program should be able to see, and the more important, what is the important? If you have any changes in the program, if you made any changes, if you made any changes in a program, then the programmer must be able to see that. That is one environment, and it should be able to connect the graphic connections, and you're able to traverse or you must be able to debug the program. So these are the environment. What are the environment you need to have it to have a programming environment? You need to have a compiler to compile that program into zeros and one. You need to have an interpreter to execute the program. Plus, when a programmer made some changes, he or she can able to see that program, the changes. Plus, if you want to traverse the tree, or if you want to traverse the program, you can able to traverse that. If you want to debug it, you can able to debug it. These are the environment which you are going to see. With this, we will stop it. The next class we will continue other part.